Right? If you really love just sitting out on your hammock in front, on the beach and reading, that doesn't mean that you can start a business around it. So should you follow your passion? It's a question I get all the time. People saying, Ryan, I want to start a new business. Should I do something that I'm really, really passionate about? And so it's a question that I definitely want to answer. And the short answer is yes, but there's a but. A really, really, really big but. I'll get to that in just a second. But before we talk about your passion and what you're passionate about and whether that correlates to the type of business you should start or the type of business you should continue running, I want to talk about a different type of passion first, and that's the passion of your prospective customers. See, far more important to the question of should you follow your passion is the answer to the question of, am I targeting a business or am I targeting a product or a service that other people are passionate about? I mean, that's a way more important question to answer, right? If you're going to sell a product or a service, you need to make sure that the people who you're looking to buy it, that they're passionate about that product or service, or at least that they're passionate about the end result that your product or service is promising. So let's address that right now. The fact that you are passionate about something is meaningless to your customer. The fact that you care about it, that you really love it, that in and of itself is not a good enough reason to start a business, right? If you really love just sitting out on your hammock in front, on the beach and reading, that doesn't mean that you can start a business around it, right? And hopefully that makes sense, but I hear so many people saying, oh, but I'm really passionate about this over here or that over there. It doesn't freaking matter. Nobody cares if you're passionate about it. You first have to answer the question, are they passionate about it? What is their passion? And if there is no they, if you can't identify that, yes, indeed, these people over here, this group, they're passionate about this thing, then that right off is a deal killer. I don't care how passionate you are about it. Okay, so that's them. Let's talk about you and your passion. So again, to answer the question, should you be passionate about the business that you're starting, or should you be passionate about the business that you're in? I've also had people come to me and say, I've been in this business for 15, 20 years. I'm just not passionate about it. So the answer to that question is yes. You should love what you're doing. And if you don't, then it's purely a vocation. You're better off to go and work for somebody else, work as efficiently as possible, get paid as much as you can in as short amount of time possible, clock in, clock out, and then go do whatever the heck it is that you're passionate about. There's no rule that says that the thing that you're passionate about also has to be your vocation. There's lots of people that work a job, 9 to 5, and they're not passionate at all about what they do, but there's something else that makes them really happy that they are passionate about. So you don't feel like you have to combine the two. That's a big lie that you have to combine your passion with your vocation. In fact, oftentimes a lot of people who do that, they're miserable afterwards. So number one, you don't have to do that. So if you're gonna start a business, if you're gonna run a business, yeah, you should be passionate about it. You should. I would argue that it's a requirement, because if not, you're not going to want to stick with it, because starting a business, running a business, growing a business, it's hard. It's hard. You have to make a lot of sacrifices along the way. And if you're not passionate, if you're not excited, you're just not going to stick with it. But really, there's two types of passion that I want to address. There's two different ways to be passionate about your business. And when most people say, I'm not passionate about my business, usually what they mean is, I'm not passionate about my product. Okay, so the first way that you can be passionate about your business is you can be passionate about the product or the service that you are selling. So if you do some type of consulting or coaching or training, and you're just really passionate about that, and you love helping people, and that's your passion, right? That's being passionate about the product, right? Or maybe you make something with your hands. Maybe you sew and you do knitting, and you sell these products on Etsy or eBay, and you're very passionate about it. You really enjoy it, right? That's being passionate about the product. That's what most people think. But what about people that are running businesses in garbage disposal? Right? Or we have a business, for example, that's in industrial water filter manufacturing. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not particularly passionate about industrial water filters. I don't wake up in the morning being really excited about industrial water filters. I don't think anybody does. If you do, you're probably a little bit crazy, right? But yet those businesses exist. And yet the people who run those businesses are very passionate about their business. And that's because in many cases, they have the second type of passion. And that's being passionate about the process. So you can be passionate about the product, or you can be passionate about the process. For me, I'm passionate about the process. I love what we do. I love that I get to wake up every single day and I get to sell stuff. We get to create websites, conversion funnels. We get to take a group of people over here who doesn't know about a product or a service, and we get to inform them about it. We get to take this concept that's behind the firewall, that's completely unknown to them, and we get to put it in front of them and say, do you want it? And when they say yes, I enjoy that. Now, whether they're saying yes to a product that I produce, whether they're saying yes to something that we're doing in the survival and preparedness market, whether they're saying yes to an industrial water filter, to me, it's irrelevant, right? To me, it's as close as we can come to real alchemy, right? To creating, gold out of thin air, to creating money out of thin air, to creating value out of thin air. That's what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about the process. The product, for me, is largely interchangeable. There's some products we do that I'm passionate about, in which case, great. Doubly passionate about the product and the process. Wonderful. But to you, ask yourself, right? If you're gonna start a business, ask yourself, number one, is the only reason that I wanna do this is because I'm passionate about it? If that's what you're doing, that's the only reason you're doing it, then you're starting this business for very selfish reasons. You should always start a business because you know that you can add value in someone else's life, okay? Now, the second question that you have to ask is, am I passionate about this or will I enjoy it? But ask that in two ways. Am I passionate about it because I love what we're producing, or am I passionate about it because I love the process, whether the process be marketing, whether the process be accounting, whether the process being building teams, whatever aspect of the process in your business, if you're passionate about that, if you can pinpoint it, then I'd say yes, you are following your passion full steam ahead. All right, so if you like this, if you enjoyed it, comment below, like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. If you hated it, if you totally disagreed with me, if you think I'm a complete idiot, or if you just want to add to the conversation, same deal. Comment down below. I'd love to hear from you, and I would love to get involved. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.